Hi, my name is Richard. I'm a teacher librarian from Kirkland Middle School in Kirkland, Washington, and I wanted to tell you how you could make an Excel survey using Microsoft OneDrive. Microsoft OneDrive is a free online storage system that will give you 15 gigabytes of free storage. It also provides you with email, and it gives you online versions of all of the Office programs. Once you create your account at onedrive.live.com, come up to the Create button and go to Excel Survey. An Excel survey is a way that I can get students to put data and information into an Excel chart. Then I can turn those into graphs, or I can just have it as regular information. I oftentimes use these to create groups, to use for research check-ins, or just as an exit ticket when students are in class. So I like to use Excel surveys for lots of different areas. And anytime that you want to create an Excel chart and have everybody contribute to the data that's in it, an Excel survey is a fantastic way to do that. So when I create my survey, I go right into editing the questions. You'll notice that I can give my survey a title. This is what students or anybody is going to see when they take the survey. I can give it a description. That's oftentimes where I put specific instructions for the survey itself, and then I can start adding my questions. I think what I'm going to do is team up with the class, maybe several different classes, to find out what book students are reading right now and understand why they either like or don't like that book. So I'm just going to call this survey, "What are you reading?" I'm going to give it a description, share what book you are reading. Now I'm ready to start adding my questions. I just click on the Add a New Question button. That will give me a box over here on the right-hand side where I can type in the question itself, give the question a subtitle, which is where maybe I can also give instructions for the question, and then I can determine the response type. So maybe because I'm going to give this to multiple students, I want to know who is responding right now, maybe also the name of their teacher and what class period they're in. So I might start with the name of the student's teacher. What is your teacher's name? You'll notice that if I spell anything wrong, it's always going to give me that feedback, letting me know when it's underlined in red that it was spelled incorrectly. So I'm just going to put type, and I'm going to give my question some instructions. Type the teacher's last name. And my response type for this is going to be text. I could also choose paragraph text, which will give students a larger place to type, number, date, time, yes or no, which is kind of like true and false, and choice, which will be multiple choice. So as I clicked out of that box, if I want to go back into editing that question, I can just click here on the gear, which will put me back into edit question mode. And I want to make this question required so that students, of course, type it in. So once I've typed in my question, subtitle, and determined the type of response, I can just click on done. Now I just need to keep adding questions until I've completed all of the questions that I want students to pick. I think because I'm going to give this to lots of students, I also want them to put in their name. So I'm going to ask them, what is your name? For this one, I'm going to make it a choice question so that students don't have to spend time actually typing in their name. So I'll say choose from the list below, and I'll change my question type to choice. And here I could type in all my students' names that I know I'll give this survey to. So rather than type all the students' names in, I've just gone to our attendance system, copy the names of the students that I'll be giving the survey to, and I can just paste those right here into this Excel survey. That saves me a lot of typing time. And I could also make this question required, and I'll say done. I think I'll add just a couple more questions to make my survey complete. So now I've typed in all the questions that I'm going to be giving students. For this last one, because I wanted them to write just a little bit more than just a word or two, I made that a paragraph question to give students a larger space to write. If I were wanting some of my responses to be either numbers or times or dates, I would want to make sure my response types reflected that. That's so when the data goes into Excel that I can use the data as if it were date or time. Otherwise, everything goes in as text, which isn't bad. It just controls what I could actually do with that data. Say I wanted to graph how often students were recording something. If I were asking them to write down every time that they read or every time that they came to the library, every time they did research, I might want to be able to graph or chart that data based on time. So just changing your response type lets you do more information or lets you do more tasks with that data itself. So I've typed in all my questions. I want to see what this is going to look like for my students. So I'm going to click on Save and View. Now I actually don't have to save the survey itself. Microsoft OneDrive is going to save everything for me as I do it. So if I forgot to click Save and just went right to Close, it's going to be okay. All your information is saved. But now this shows me exactly what my students are going to see when they're on their laptop, when they're on a mobile device, or they're on a desktop computer. This is the view that they will get of the survey itself. and they can go in and they can type their teacher's last name. They can pick their name from a list. It gives them that longer place where they can write in why it is they like the book. When I'm ready to share my survey, simply click on Share Survey. I'm going to click on Create Link. This will give me a long link to that survey, which maybe I'll put into my learning management system or to paste onto a blog. If I want them to just type in the survey link itself, I could always click on Shorten Link. That'll give me a nice shortened link that they can type in very easily, and then I'm ready to click on Done. Now when students start taking the survey, all their answers are going to appear here. If I need to change any of my questions or want to change the order of my questions, come back into your Excel chart. Here across the ribbon, you're going to see the table section. Underneath Survey, you can choose Edit Survey. This will take you back into edit mode so that you can make any changes that you need to with your survey itself. If you need more help using Excel, look at the Microsoft Educator Network and see what tutorials are available. I hope you enjoy using Excel surveys and find them a great addition to your class. Thank you.